Hi, I'm Mala Gupta from eJavaGuru.com. Let me show you how to add some fun to the preparation of your Java certification by writing sample exam questions. To do so, I will take you through the type of exam questions you will see in the exam, the same set of topics that I have used for the sample exam questions shown in the video, and the exam objectives that map to the exam topics. Let's get started with the first type of exam question. So in this type of question, you would see simple code followed by tricky or confusing answer options. Here's an example. In this question, though the code is small, the answer options can confuse you, whether the output would be 1, 1 space 1 1 or 111. Coming to the second type of exam question, this question doesn't have any code. You can only see answer options with text. Recall the topics that I specified at the beginning of the video. The options that you see in the question are related to that topic, but can you see the difference in how the question is framed? Great. So now coming to the third type of exam question. In this type of question, you would see a lot of code and the answer options would state the probable code output. So here's an example with a class and some methods, and the question is on the output of the code. The next type of exam question is one where you would have a placeholder in the question and the answer option would include the probable answers, which when inserted would give you the required output. So here's an example. In this question, you have a placeholder and the question asks you to select the correct options, which when inserted at the placeholder would give you the value 10. Now the next type of exam question is the one which has code and the answer option would include some suggested changes. So here's the example, and in this example, after reading the code, you have to select the options which would work as mentioned in the options. For example, the first option mentions that the code will compile if the code on line 6 is commented, and the second option says that the code will output the same result if the access modifier of the main method is changed to private at line 2. Now again, recall that the question is on the same set of topics which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. It's only the format of the question which is changing. Now let's come to the next type of question, which includes code, and you are asked to select the incorrect options. Here's an example. Now these kind of questions are quite tricky because your brain is programmed to select the correct options, and a lot of time when you answer these questions, after selecting one incorrect statement, you tend to select the correct statements. So my tip is to cross the fingers of one of your hands so that you remember that you have to select the incorrect options. Coming on to the next type of exam question. This question doesn't have any code. All the code is in the options. So here's an example which asks you which of the options correctly define the main method that outputs the value of second and the fourth command parameter. Again, recall that we are still trying to frame our questions on the set of topics which I mentioned at the beginning of the video. And the last type of exam questions you are likely to see on the exam is the one which includes a quick diagram which represents the code and the answer options are as code. So this is not on the set of topics which I included in the beginning of the video, because I couldn't really find one to depict the main method diagrammatically. So this is on the arrays. So all the best to you. Bye bye.